extrication, fire and rescue. So we are all set from our point of view, and let's see how the races go this weekend.
Oh, I tell you what, they keep an eagle's eye on whatever's happening. You walk into race control, you see that giant screen, multiple monitors, every corner of the racetrack being covered. Most importantly, by a man who's going to be ensuring that things go as per plan, Mr. Sunny Kumar, who is the COC for the race weekend. And of course, there has to be racing, there has to be glamour on either side, Sunny.
I know, it's quite exciting. And the pit lane will be opening in the next 5 minutes, the first race of this weekend. Fingers crossed that the weekend goes well, and hope everything's going good.
Absolutely, things are going to be good, and you ensure that things are good in terms of the safety checks, the kind of parameters that are put in place to ensure that motorsport is exciting as well as safe.
Oh yes, definitely. We have professionals in the race control monitoring the whole track, which is 2.3 kilometers, and making sure that any incident, anything goes wrong is immediately reported to us, and we can take action accordingly immediately. The safety car just rolled in. We have a safety car and a medical car from the Citroën this year, which we'll be using for our races. And apart from that, we have fully equipped ambulances, marshals, extrication, fire and rescue. So we are all set from our point of view, and let's see how the races go this weekend.
Oh, I tell you what, they keep an eagle's eye on whatever's happening. You walk into race control, you see that giant screen, multiple monitors, every corner of the racetrack being covered by those cams.
You're right, the eagle eye, because every car out here, the racing car, they have GoPros in the front and the back. So anything goes wrong and we don't report or we don't take action, the racers, they are standing outside our race control with their complaints that you didn't look into it. So we have to make sure that the eagle's eye is always there and monitored properly during the racing.
But that's the thrill of it. You're looking at a high-speed, high-stakes race, and then you're wanting it to ensure that it's safe, it's secure, and it's fair, all on the same platform above the board.
The grid this weekend is the fastest grid in India, the racing, the Indian F4, the LGBs, the IRLs. So we have to make sure that we keep an eye on the whole thing going on during the racing.
Absolutely, Sunny. I'm not going to keep you away from your duties this race weekend. Thanks so much for joining in on the opening show and letting us know what to expect.
Thank you, thank you. Looking forward to the races, like I said, keeping the fingers crossed. And we'll talk to you on Sunday evening after the last race.
Absolutely. That's the time when we're going to be saying it's been a good race weekend. But what are we heading into now, this race weekend? Of course, the first race coming up is that JK Tyre Formula LGB. That's the race that we're going to get into. And of course, before we roll into that race, let's very quickly hear from the drivers who went on and maxed it in qualifying.
The Q1 went really well, according to the way we planned. Me and Bala, we were planning to get the toe, to maximize the opportunity, because we don't have much opportunity on the first Q1 because it's just one lap qualifying, and it went really well. Yeah, I'm really happy for it.
Q1 was pretty good for me because I felt comfortable with the car, and it was just one lap quali, which was something really nice. It feels really nice to just go and push on the out lap itself. So Q1 was good. We're starting P2 and take the fight to Diljit.
So Q1 was okay for me because, of course, it's a one-shot quali. I didn't give it about 100% in Q1 just because I wanted to just get a banker safe lap in. Made some small mistakes, lost some time here and there, but no worries as long as we're in a good spot.
It was it's not easy because we are just going out on the track for the first time on a brand new set of tires, and the tire will take a bit of time to get the temperature, to get the right temperature, and I was able to manage it somehow. And then corners are pretty easy, not so difficult, because we've been driving on this track from a very long time. So it was never so difficult.
Usually on the first lap, since the pressures are low, it tends to, the car tends to behave differently to what it behaves normally when on a proper quali lap. But yeah, again, it's up to the driver how well they adapt and how well they adapt to the low pressures. And whoever did adapt are on top. So yeah.
So yeah, in Q1 the car was pretty good. I did feel like I could have pushed the car a little bit more, but that's okay. Just playing it a little bit safe. But yeah, as these two said, that it's hard to adapt so quickly in a brand new set of tires, a track we've not driven for in a while, for like half a day. So yeah, overall not bad.
Just heard from the drivers who maxed it in qualifying. Of course, we'll see the cars come out on the grid in just a bit because they're at the moment in the pit lane. You can hear the revving of the car engines at the moment. And we're waiting for that first race of this weekend to get underway, the JK Tyre Formula LGB 4 category. But the interesting story here is that you've got Diljit TS, who's leading the overall point standings coming into this round. 25 points to his name, had a couple of race wins handed over to him. When we looked at the overall point standings, there's Raghu Rangasamy, who's 8 points adrift at 17, who's running second. And it's going to be very, very interesting because Dhruv, we just saw him in that little interview about his efforts in qualifying and what he had as a game plan, because he's fourth overall in the point standings and he'd love to make this race weekend count. Don't forget there's Aditya, who's the third in the overall standings as well. He'd like to make this race weekend count too. But I'm standing right in front of this Citroen safety car. The man who'd be driving the Citroen safety car is right here with me. How are you doing?
Good, fine. Good morning.
Good morning. You know, you've been a man who's been behind the wheel of this safety car time and time again across multiple rounds. We've seen your son race as well. But let's talk about, you know, we were talking a little while ago to Sunny Kumar about the role of the safety car. Just talk us through that a little.
So safety car is always on a standby when the race commences, and when there's an incident, like a car goes off, the safety car board comes out, the race control deploys the safety car, and all the racing cars follow the safety car till the incident is recovered and the track is clear for racing to commence, and the safety car comes in and the race commences again.
You know, I tell you what, there's one saying that goes in motorsport, for those of you watching it for the first time, you could be the fastest on the racetrack, but when you're starting a formation lap, before that you'll always have the safety car in front of you.
Yeah, that has to be there.
So at the end of the day, the foremost car on the racetrack is always the safety car, and it's great for Citroen to have, you know, given us the car as the safety car this season.
Yeah, it's like a good association with Citroen for this season. Looking forward.
And just talk us through the fact that, you know, you know, the one thing racers definitely don't want to see is a safety car being deployed in the middle of the race. It means there's a race incident, something's happened, and you know, you're then having to follow the safety car and not overtake.
See, it's actually unfortunate for the lead cars. If it's a back marker going off, then the entire grid comes together again. So whatever they have made up in that 4-5 laps, it goes to zero. So I always prefer the safety car not being on the track always, but then we have to make sure the race is under safety norms always.
As they say, before the start of the race, it's perfect, but when the race is on and the safety comes out, then for the race leaders of the first 2 or 3, you're probably the most hated man on the track.
Yeah, for sure, always.
But thanks so much for speaking with us.
Pleasure.
And go well. Your role's so very important in every race weekend. Thank you. Well, there you have it. Of course, we've got the cars have come out of the pit lane, and they're going to be lining up on the grid in just a bit. That's exactly what we're going to focus on, because we're going to head into the JK Tyre Formula LGB 4 race right here, the 28th edition of the JK Tyre Racing Championship. Unbelievable, the kind of impact over 3 decades that this championship has had, giving young racers a chance into Formula racing. Now let's head across, because we'll see our cars lining up on the grid. That's what we're heading towards now. It'll be interesting to see, because you've got the M Sport car lining up on P2. But remember, it's going to be Diljit TS who will line up on pole position. Dark Dawn Racing, you can see their owner's going to be a happy man. He's got a 1 and 3 on the grid. So what we'll do is very quickly slip into a break and come back with the grid.
They've come from the future to change the way we drive.
JK Smart Tyre, buddy.
JK Smart Tyre. The tyre with a brain. The future of driving is here. JK Smart Tyre. It's done.
Right then, we're back on the racetrack heading into the first race of this race weekend. And I tell you what, we talk about the JK Tyre Formula LGB 4. It's imperative. You talk about the driver's efforts, talk about the team principals, the team owner's efforts, and the entire team that works behind the scenes to make sure that the car's perfectly set up for the race driver. I've got Abdul Riaz here with me for Dark Dawn Racing, the man who's made sure that the team's got maximum number of cars and drivers on the grid. And you've got a man starting off on pole, Afzal.
Yeah, I think Diljit is starting in pole and the other cars are starting in P3 and P4 and P5. I think this race, I believe, I want to finish, I want the team to finish 1, 2, 3, and we hope.
Well, we've pretty much got the setup for it. When you're talking about cars at P1, P3, P4, you've got them all lined up nicely. The last thing that Diljit would have wanted to do is knock over the team principal getting the car in.
I don't think so. He'll do that.
Just joking about that, but on a serious note, the fact the way the cars are set up, the behind the scenes, tell our viewers about what happens behind the scenes in the pit lane to get the car ready for each driver.
It's quite difficult to set up a car. We start the day on Monday, we start the weekend, and then we go ahead setting up the car. A lot of R&D we do for setting up. The drivers do. Then that's how we do it.
And is it customized when you're looking at fine-tuning the setups for a particular driver, one to the other?
No, we set up one single car and then we copy-paste.
And then leave it to the driver, how to handle this.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Well, maybe that's the formula that's working because you got, guys pretty much dominating the top 5 in qualifying.
Yeah, the formula is working, yeah.
Well, all the best. Have a good race. Thank you. Wishing you well. Diljit, quick chat with you before anything else. All set? Yeah. Well, the fact that you're leading the standings as well, coming into this round, what plans in terms of approach?
Just keeping my head clear and looking forward for the championship.
Go well. A man of few words at the moment because he's got his focus on what he's got to do in the race. Starting off on P2, we've got Dhruv Goswami. Now, Dhruv was second fastest in qualifying. Dhruv, interesting setup because apart from individual talent, it's also about how the grid lines up with the other team and their cars.
It's always been neck and neck between us two. At the end of the day, it's going to be a healthy competition, and I hope to have a fun race.
Go well.
Thank you so much.
Well, the reason why, because it's a lot to do with strategy. You look at the grid, you go on P1, you got a Dark Dawn racing car. On P2, it's M Sport. You got P3, P4, and P5 are again all Dark Dawn racing cars. So 4 cars in the top 5 on the grid are Team Dark Dawn racing cars. That it's going to be very interesting and a bit of a challenge there for Dhruv Goswami, the M Sport driver on P2. Let's have a quick chat with Aditya. Aditya, well, it's been a nice step up for you from the karting world into the racing world. How's it going?
So far pretty good. I'm glad to have hit the ground running for this race. We'll just see what kind of a start I get and take it from there, honestly.
Go well.
Thank you so much.
It's always going to be an interesting scenario when you're graduating from karting onto Formula racing, but that's exactly the platform that JK Tyre has provided time and time again to many a driver. Mehul Agarwal starts off on P4. Let's have a quick chat with Mehul. Mehul, I know you just wanted to rev your car engine before you had a go, but just a quick word about how you fancy your chances this season.
Yeah, last year was a pretty good season. The round 1 was also pretty good, leaving out all the external off-track stuff. But yeah, I've been sick for the past 2-3 days, so I'm pretty okay with being in the top 5, but hoping for more.
Well, a podium finish would be the best medicine for you then.
Definitely.
Go well.
Yeah, thank you.
There you have it. Mehul starts off on P4. As I said before, just about 5 minutes to go before the start of this race. On P5, it's Bala Prasad who starts off well, you like his blood group. And that's the attitude he'd like to bring into this race. Be positive. Bala, any specific plans?
No, nothing on my mind. That's all. Just race it. That's all.
Nothing on his mind except that start-finish line. Go well. Just had a quick look at the top 5 on the grid for this particular race. We'll hand it over very quickly to our comms in the comm box as we head into race action. That's coming up in just a few moments.
Thank you, Roman, and a very, very good morning to all of you viewers. We are here live at the Tyre Motor Speedway for the JK Tyre FMSCI National Racing Championship. LGB Formula 4 is the race that we'll start off proceedings with. 15 laps coming your way. And as you can see, all the cars are lined up on the grid. Very quickly, we'll talk you through how the grid stands at the moment. It is Diljit TS who starts at P1. Then you got Dhruv Goswami starting at P2. Aditya Patnaik at P3. Mehul Agarwal at P4. Bala Prasad at P5. Monit at P6. Then you got Yash P7. Veda Vishnu starting at P8, Balaji Raju starting at P9, Ashwet Agarwal at P10, then you got Vignesh Narendran at P11, followed by Nityanand at P12, you got Rashi Shah, the only girl on the grid, starting at P13, Raghu Rangaswamy, a former champion, starting at P14, Sarosh Ataria himself, another former champion, at P15, then you got Yogi Krishnan at P17, Ashok Lal at P17, Aditya Topo starting at P18 and Saran Vikram Thomas starting all the way back at P19. 15 laps of this 2.3 kilometer long Tyre Motor Speedway action coming your way. As you can see, 3 minutes before the start of this race, we'll have a formation lap and then we'll have 15 laps in the LGB Formula 4 category. I'm Karthik Sinha. Joining me in the commentary box as always, my friend Solomon. Morning, Solomon. Welcome back.
Morning, Karthikeya. How are you feeling? How was your travel? Welcome, Vanakkam, as we say from Coimbatore. As we were talking about Dhruv Goswami, he said it's always been neck and neck. Well, why not neck and neck? Because your neck is on the line. Your neck is on the line. And Diljit is a former LGB champion, and he's one man who's already going to make sure it's going to be count about it. Dhruv Goswami has really been a massive challenge. And how have you been enjoying the contest, Karthikeya?
Oh, absolutely. I think Diljit, who's leading the Drivers' Championship, he's got 25 points and he is starting at P1, makes things a lot more interesting. And obviously, you've got young Dhruv Goswami starting at P2 in car number 27. Keep an eye out on that as well, because he is somebody who will try and give Diljit TS a big run for his money. And good news for Dark Dawn, they've got, I think, about 4 or 5 in the front 6.
And if you're looking at Aditya Patnaik from Team Dark Dawn, there is that silver color car. And it's Mehul Agarwal as well. So Dhruv Goswami has a little bit of a word. He knows he's got to be competing with 3 of the folks and he possibly needs a wingman ahead of him. There's a lot of hope as far as promise is concerned with Aditya Patnaik, and Mehul Agarwal could also be a man who could really put in the sink there. Now, without further ado, it is going to be 15 laps, 2.3 kilometer track. We're also looking at 16 turns. Each of the turns is going to be really fought for. Remember, Dhruv Goswami said it was neck and neck. It's the neck which is on the line now.
And not just the LGB Formula 4, you have another section in this race, and that's the LGB Formula 4 rookies. And in that, it's Aditya Patnaik who's leading the tally with 24 points. Mohit Kumram of Ahura Racing with 19 is second. Then you got Ashok Lal of Tomas Racing in third with 18 points, followed by Yash and Avni Veeramareni. Avni not here this weekend, but talking about the main standings is Diljit TS, Raghu Rangaswamy, and then overall Aditya Patnaik, Dhruv Goswami, Bala Prasad, Saran Vikram, Monit, Ashok Lal, Avi and Veda Vishnu. These are your top 10 in the Drivers' Championship. Now then, formation lap is underway, as you can see. It will be very interesting to see how Dhruv Goswami goes about with this challenge to go on and try and sneak ahead of Diljit TS. Diljit, obviously, as you said, Sullivan, a former champion himself, a very, very experienced campaigner. He knows what needs to be done, but there's always the young lads who try and push these champions to the limit, and that's what we're going to look out for.
I'm going to talk like a fan. I know we always talk about Diljit. Why? It was way back when at the Buddh International Circuit, he won the national championship. When he landed in Kerala, he literally took a lot of time to finally get back home because the entire media was there. He was a toast of Kerala. He became like our Kerala boy has gone on to win the LGB Formula 4. Let's not forget what he's done for sport, what he's done for the novice, where he also runs a dream. Very specifically, he's also brought in new challenges, new talent into the sport, and he is on pole. Car number 44 coming right into the box. Dhruv Goswami watches him. Now, this is going to be very interesting, as in turn number 1, up to the bus stop chicane, it's a left-hander followed by a quick right-hander, one of the slowest part of the track. And this is where the contest is really going to come through. 15 laps is about to unfold. We're waiting for the 5-second board.
I think the start will also be very, very important with regards to Diljit TS, also Mehul, Dhruv Goswami and Aditya Patnaik. You can see the 4 silvers in front of your screen, and that's the dark dawn of the 5 and 4 are in the top 5. Of the 5 reds go off, and off we go for the racing action.
Lights out, away we go. Car number 44 seems to have a much better start than Dhruv Goswami. One of the Aura racing cars, he seems to be standard, but most of them get past. But we already see Mehul Agarwal trying to look for a move on the outside. But Dhruv Goswami still somehow managed to come out on top. He came close to the wall, was able to get a much better toe. It's all about the toe that you're able to generate. A little bit of commotion as they get into turn number 3. In quick time, they get up to turn number 4. You would like to go wide and try and carry that speed. We're already going to see Diljit going to be attacking Dhruv Goswami for the lead.
It's a terrific start for Dhruv Goswami. He's very quickly taken the race lead, going to corner number 1. But Diljit TS there, you can see on the inside there, making his move. Diljit, can he now go on and get the race lead back? No, he can't. Very well done by Dhruv Goswami. Maintained a very good line on that Mickey Mouse corner to keep the race lead. You can see surrounded by those 4 dark dawn cars, and they're not going to make life easy for him.
Dhruv Goswami has the ability because he's got the 3 folks just behind him trying to challenge him. He's got to be extremely careful that he doesn't take them out. But here is car number 26. This is Balaji Raju from Avalanche Motorsports. That would possibly bring the safety car. We will get to know. But then he's away from the racing line. Just put out a yellow and let the boys race. Let's get to turn number 1 as they get on to the bus stop chicane. Here is car number 44 literally trying to follow him through and trying to hold him off together. Car number 9 literally making it tight as well. It's the Dark Dawn coming on the inside, trying to take away the chance from him very, very quickly. It's 4 Dark Dawn cars versus a yellow Tiger. That's Team M Sport. On the run, Mehul Agarwal, Aditya Patnaik also in the mix of things. Bala Prashant also in the mix of things. Who is going to win this one? We got to wait and watch.
Well, it seems that Diljit TS has dropped down to 3rd at the moment, with Mehul Agarwal moving up to 2nd. Mehul on the inside line trying to make his move, but the gap was a bit too much, and Dhruv Goswami does ever so well. Then after those 4 dark dawns, you've got 1 Ahura racing car, and then a group of 3 more M Sport cars chasing down. That's car number 7. That's Rashi Jitendra Shah, the girl who comes from Mumbai, the only girl on the track, and that seems to be the end of the race for her, but we'll see if they can try and get her back on the track.
Was there a smile or was there a smirk? Little bit. That is Rashi for you from Team Ahura Racing. A big word for Ahura Racing. They did a massive talent hunt and they went around to try and get some new talents into the sport. Over 70 of them had auditioned here at the Karimora Speedway again. But now Dhruv Goswami getting under a little bit of pressure from Mehul Agarwal. Mehul on the outside, Dhruv on the inside. Somebody gives space and they touch, wheels touch. No harm done. He's got to give the position back again. Now where is he going to give the position? Maybe at this particular time. Mehul would, it's a better idea to give the position now, but Dhruv Goswami is going to hunt him down at the moment. But he's got to be a little bit careful. Diljit Aditya Patnaik in company. Let's have a look.
Well, let's see what happened there. They came in through that first corner. He was on the outside, was Mehul going slightly there. There was that contact between the two. And, well, Mehul stayed on the track. Mehul then went off and then he took that race lead. From what we saw, doesn't seem like he's in any mood to give the give it up. But will he give it up? Will he not? Yes, he's on the inside now. There is Dhruv Goswami, but Mehul still hasn't given the race lead away. He's not given that position away. Or maybe he thinks he was in the right in that, and something, probably the issue came from the M Sport driver.
Dhruv Goswami had a steering lock, so that really allowed possibly Mehul Agarwal is playing the judgment game, saying you have a steering lock, why should I give you the position back? Mehul Agarwal, your race leader. Dhruv Goswami trying to take advantage of the toe. Mehul trying to break the toe. It's a wonderful battle when we look at the LGB Formula 4 as they keep coming on. Raman, you've already seen this contest. You already talk about when Dhruv said it's neck and neck, it's your neck on the line.
Solomon, Karthikeya, I just feel that Dhruv realized the fact that if you're the only M Sport car in the top 5, then you might as well make it count going into C1 by taking the race lead. That's what he's done, because otherwise he would have been sandwiched, which he is now between those dark brown racing cars, and now it's going to be tough for him.
Saran Vikram Tamaz started this race right at the back of the grid. He didn't put in time, but then he's now clocked the fastest time. Let's look at the battle here as car number 9 takes the very tighter line, tries to dive in on the inside, and the battle continues. Mehul Agarwal on the inside now, but Dhruv Goswami will have a little bit of space there, shuts the door and literally comes around it. As they get down to turn number 13 and 14, he looks back in his rear view mirrors. It's all the grey cars over. It's almost literally sliding and diving on the same time. This is a good battle, Raman.
Absolutely. But the interesting part is Mehul said he'd not been keeping well over the last 3 or 4 days. So he said, hang on, this is the best medicine. Maybe a finish, maybe a race win, but this is not the ideal signs for Rashi Jitendra Shah, the only girl who was there on the grid of Ahura Racing. And Solomon, you're talking about Ahura Racing earlier. I think credit to Sarosh and Ahura Racing. At one point in time, they were running an all-girls team in the racing championship. So there have been a lot of firsts that we've seen from Ahura.
I got to quickly stop that now again. Dhruv Goswami loses 2 positions there in just about 1 turn. He's got to be a little bit careful there. As we get it around, Ahura Racing have been bringing in complete women in motorsports team, as this is part of the FMSA as well. They ran an all-woman girls team, but now they're really going around to make it a general neutral racing team and bringing in folks like Ebu Rashi. She would be hoping that they're able to get the car on time, but this battle now goes up to turn number 14, ever so close.
While we're keeping up with the race leaders, it is certain Saran Vikram Tamaz who's moved up to 11th. He's clocked in the fastest lap as well in this race so far. 1 minute 17.261. Remember, he started at P19 all the way back. Did Saran Vikram, and he's moved up to 11th at the moment. So that tells you how good he has been. In the meantime, it's 2 Dark Dawns who are leading. And it is car number 9, and that's Mehul Agarwal. And he's closely followed by teammate Aditya Patnaik. Dhruv Goswami's dropped down to 3rd, while Bala Prasad is in 4th. And Diljit TS, who started at P1, he's dropped down to 5th. But still, we're into lap number 6. There's a lot of racing to be done here. And certainly, there will be opportunities to go on and take that race lead and move up a few positions. Monit Kumran of Ahura Racing is in 6th. He's trying to keep up with the front lot. And he's closely followed by the former champion, who's generally we see him in the front in the top order, and that's Raghu Rangaswamy. He's 7th at the moment.
I need to talk about Monit Kumran, the special kid from Ahura Racing, but we'll talk about that later. As Mehul Agarwal somehow holds back car number 76, Aditya Patnaik from Dark Dawn. This contest is really going to go to the wire because Aditya Patnaik is racing Mehul Agarwal. He's very clear on that. But Dhruv Goswami waiting like a sniper, Raman.
We got to talk about the fact that Aditya Patnaik, we talked about it earlier, Karthikeya was just mentioning the points tally for the rookies, and he's leading the pack with 24 points. So it just tells you how this young gun who's come through the karting program into racing, Formula Racing, is telling everyone, I belong here, I belong on this stage.
He is the senior max karting champion. He's also the vice champion in the circuit race as well. So this man has multiple race wins. On the outside is Aditya Patnaik. Mehul Agarwal on the inside. Dhruv Goswami between them saying, please give me some room. They say, no thank you. But car number 10 comes in. Bala Prasad comes in, says and knocks on the door. Tries to take that advantage all the way through there. As they get on the line very quickly. And this is where the contest could be the man who could take advantage. But what a special talent Monit Kumran has been. A special boy. And then with all that they talk about special folks, he has still taken racing as his religion to really go on and really fight it with Rahul Rangaswamy. And we're going to see them right at that scene there, just trying to hold him back. But in the front is Mehul Agarwal from Team Dark Dawn.
Going slightly wide, Mehul on that occasion, but keeping that battle that we're seeing. It's Mehul Agarwal versus Aditya Patnaik, the two teammates from Dark Dawn, having the right track at each other. And you got that one M Sport car of Dhruv Goswami sandwiched between the two Dark Dawns ahead of him and two right behind him. In the meantime, Saran Vikram we're talking about has moved up to 8th, starting from P19.
Karthikeya, the other interesting scenario is you've got 15 laps on this race, not 10. So that means that these drivers are going to go up, clocking around 34 plus kilometers, close to 35 kilometers on this racetrack here at the Tyre Motorsport Speedway. Oh, the problem's there. Lost his nose in that contact. That's unfortunate for Aditya. I'm sure that's going to affect the aerodynamics of his car. Good part is that he's got the car still running.
Let's see what happened there. He came in there. It was Mehul Agarwal. Dhruv Goswami had taken the second place from him, and there you can see the contact right behind Dhruv Goswami's car, and that resulted in the nose flying away for young Aditya Patnaik. As Raman said, there might be some aerodynamics. We'll see how things pan out, how does it affect as far as his lap times and his speeds are concerned. Talking about lap times, Saran Vikram has clocked another fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 17.231. He's cracking up a few good laps there, Saran.
I must say that the nose was very well behaved. It went away. Well, the cameraman really smiling all the way. He is Shah Jahan of photographs. That's his real name as well. And we possibly got a camera versus a camera moment. This is where we go and look at Dhruv Goswami now trying to launch himself to get on to the top there. But now he's got to consolidate at number 2. Aditya Patnaik is unaffected despite the missing nose. So here we go, folks. This is where it looks like. Mehul Agarwal number 1, Dhruv Goswami number 2, Aditya Patnaik at number 3, Balaprashad 4, Diljeet 5, Monu Kumaram at 6, Rahul Rangaswamy at 7, Saran at number 8, Sarosh Ataria at 9, Vedu Vishnu at number 10, Ashok Lal at number 11, and Yash at number 12, who set his personal best but keeps him at number 12 at the moment.
Did we just witness the multiverse of cameramen?
Oh, yes, we did. And it was like candid camera. Smile, you are on camera. And this is where we talk about multiple verses. That's nicely put, Karthikeya.
Now then you have Mehul Agarwal just stretching his lead slightly, about a second, just a second between himself and the lot that's following him. Dhruv Goswami is doing ever so well to try and catch up with Mehul. The battle between 3rd, 4th, 5th is intense. In fact, momentarily you can say the battle between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going right down to the wire. And now there's a certain Monu Kumaran also, who's trying to get into the mix as far as the top 5 is concerned. Coming to end of lap number 9, it is Mehul who leads. Dhruv is 2nd, Aditya Patnaik coming in 3rd, Balaprasad is 4th, Diljeet TS is 5th. He's clocked his fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 17.536.
So on the outside line, when they're coming into turn number 3 and turn number 4, you'll find them different strategies. You're looking at Aditya Patnaik holding the very line. Diljeet on the other side taking the very aggressive line. Saran Vikram Tamas is the fastest now, personal best for Diljeet. So then lap times are coming down and Dhruv Goswami takes the inside. Goes car number 9 one more time again. But this is battle where you're looking. Aditya Patnaik has a chance to take the second. Dhruv Goswami surely will not be able to consolidate on the second. We have a new number 2. Aditya Patnaik refusing to budge, being a stubborn defense so far. But we are looking at Mehul right now, and Aditya Patnaik, when he comes to the straight line, he should be able to take the second. But Dhruv Goswami knocking hard and not giving up yet.
Well, he's not giving up, but he's given up that second place, hasn't he? It is at the moment Aditya Patnaik who's in second. Right behind him is Dhruv Goswami, but I'm sure on the straight, that's where the aerodynamics will kick in. Because the car's lost its nose, I'm sure this is the chance for Dhruv Goswami to make a move once again. Take another look at this maneuver. Dhruv diving in, taking the race lead, cutting in, taking that inside line and reclaiming the lead was Mehul Agarwal. And just seeing his opportunity on the inside line, that's where you see young Aditya Patnaik dive in and take his chances and making it count.
And this is how you do not break unless and until you are a professional racer like Dhruv Goswami. He knew there was a risk, but he had it under control. Car number 10, Bala Prasad attacking Dhruv Goswami. They have raced with each other, they've practiced with each other, they know each other's race style, and they also know where to attack. One thing about all the LGB Formula is they understand racing, they also understand what you're going to bring the next ace out of the card. Dhruv Goswami now has to contend to really hold back Bala Prasad, and right ahead, folks are moving up. We are counting down. After this, we're going to be left with just 4 laps to go. It is still Saran Vikram Tamaz, the fastest of them all, who's in position number 7. Started on P19 and up to P7.
Motor races win for Saran. He's in amongst points now, finishing. He will certainly try and move up and get a couple of more places done. Now he's coming on the inside as Dhruv Goswami makes his move, takes the second, but there's that challenge coming in from Aditya Patnaik. Can he hold on to his second place? Well, at the moment it seems like he can, but he's got a good line. Is on the inside, Aditya Patnaik on the outside, and it is Dhruv Goswami who's taken that second place back from Aditya on the inside, waited for his opportunity, and the moment he saw it, he zoomed past Aditya to make it into 2, but knowing Aditya, he will have a right crack once again. On that turn on the inside is Mehul Agarwal. In fact, it is Dhruv Goswami who continues to stay second.
The interesting part is the battle that's now unfolding, not just for the second place, but also for the 5th place. I just get a feeling here that Monit Kumaran from Ahura Racing is trying to reel in Diljit TS. Keep an eye out there. Keep an eye out. Of course, Dhruv at the moment just reclaiming that second spot, but only just. There's a battle on for 5th, 6th and 7th. At the moment, Diljit is in 5th. Monit is in 6th, but there is the Saran Vikram who's challenging him. And I get a feeling that Saran has he's just moved ahead. What fantastic maneuver. I think Saran Vikram's moved into 6th now.
Yes, absolutely. You can see that white car on your screen right in the background. That's Saran Vikram. Started from P19. He is moved into the top 6. Diljit remains 5th. You got Mehul Agarwal, your race leader, about 3.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the crew. So that's a comfortable lead for him going into lap number 13. And that battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th continues. And I have a feeling that Saran Vikram will probably join the party very, very soon.
You're absolutely spot on as far as Saran Vikram is concerned. But Dhruv Goswami is very, very close to getting a warning, because when you are defending a corner, you can only move once. And you are sliding and turning at the same time, and then trying to defend on the inside and then trying to switch his nose on the outside. So this is going to be a very friendly, maybe a bat on the knuckle, but then Mehul Agarwal will be definitely looking to try and cover the inside when he was trying to defend. But Dhruv is trying to cover the whole track. Masterclass in how to defend, but there is could be a warning. Car number 99 comes into the mix. Saran Vikram Tamaz. Monit Kumaran is a mere passenger there again. Literally, the space was given and space was taken by Rahul Rangasamy, who's already up to position number 7.
So that battle between Saran Vikram, Monit and Ragul intensifies at the mid-pack. There you have it. It's Saran Vikram closely followed by Monit, and you see the yellow car in the background. Oh, braking hard there. Young Aditya Patnaik going on the inside off the track, but regains his position on the track. There you can see the middle pack coming in now. This is intense. We're into lap number 13. In fact, this is the penultimate lap. This is the 14th lap that has just started, and the pressure that is there between on the young lads of Dhruv Goswami, Aditya Patnaik, Bala Prasad, Diljit TS, all of them having a right track. But that battle for 2nd and 3rd is the one we will keep an eye out on. At the moment, it is Dhruv Goswami who's winning that battle.
When you try and cut a corner, you infer taking an advantage. But then, in this particular case, when he cut the corner, there was no real advantage that he gained. He just outbraked himself. But now, Dhruv Goswami versus Aditya Patnaik, that is a battle that is going to go on to the last lap. Cameras are ready because we are expecting a photo finish and a drag race to the finish line. Bring on the hammer, as this is last lap. As we get on to lap number 15, it's Mehul Agarwal in the lead But the fight between Dhruv Goswami versus Aditya Patnaik versus Bala Prasad could be a very close one. Dhruv Goswami come closest to the wall. He needs to cover turn 1 and he masterly covers Aditya Patnaik. Now feeling there's a little bit of an aero disadvantage that he's really facing right now. But right behind, Rahul Rangasamy is trying to get past. And here is somebody who's trying to push on the car out of that line so that there is absolute clear racing all the way. One more retirement, but Dhruv Goswami is still defending and defending well. It's still advantage at the moment.
Well, every time young Aditya Patnaik would come through that corner 1, 2 and 3, he would see the nose of his car lying there and he'd be thinking, what if nose was still there? I could have probably challenged Dhruv Goswami a little more. What if, it was still there? The aerodynamics might have been better. And on that straight, you could have tried to make a right match of it. But in the end, you have a Dhruv Goswami who's doing ever so well to defend his second place finish because, Mehul Agarwal is reeled away from the rest. He's about 4.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. So Mehul Agarwal is comfortably leading this race. There you have Dhruv Goswami in second. And that's your race leader coming through that final corner. Already celebrating is Mehul Agarwal going through towards the checkered flag to take the race win in the LGB Formula 4 category. It's Mehul Agarwal who comes in first, Dhruv Goswami second, and young Aditya Patnaik has to settle for third. What an effort from Aditya Patnaik. Bala Prasad comes in fourth, Diljit TS takes the fifth, and Saran Vikram Tamas, what a race he's had, starting from P19. Finishing in the 6th.
I'm going to request our wonderful camera crew if they can actually bring the rewind button on Mehul Agarwal. He was doing the Gangnam style and he was crossing that line, zigzag. He was celebrating it. Mehul Agarwal, great win, great driver, but not a great dancer, but never matters because he really made it count out there again and he really pulled it out together. Mehul Agarwal takes the win. And it is Dhruv Goswami at number 2, Aditya Patnaik. What a hard-fought win for him. Diljit, the man who started on pole position, finishes at number 5. Let's have a look at that Gangnam style again. He's waving his hand. You move to the flick, move to the right. We were commentating on the dance and not the race line. It's all about that raw emotions out there. Lay it out there because you race with your heart on your sleeve.
This is terrific. Absolutely brilliant from Mehul Agarwal. He saw his opportunity in the middle of the race to get his race lead, and then from there on, he absolutely dominated that race lead. In fact, with every passing lap, he continued to build that gap between himself and the rest of the crew, and eventually, at the end, it was a fairly comfortable win for Mehul Agarwal. There you have it, car number 9, Mehul Agarwal, the lad who comes from Kolkata. Well, he's just had finished off his Durga Puja, and he's come here, and he's conquered the first race in the LGB Formula 4. He's delighted with that. As a look at the joy on his face, and you can see, he just wants to get out of the car and celebrate, but the car's not allowing him. There you have it. That's the dance of glory for Mehul Agarwal, your race winner in the LGB Formula 4 category. Then you have young Dhruv Goswami coming in second, and Aditya Patnaik coming in third. What a race, Solomon. What a race.
Well, if you're looking at the fastest lap time, it was Saran Vikram Tamas, but between the 3 of them, Dhruv Goswami was clearly the fastest. Mehul Agarwal, this means so much to him. He just didn't want to let go of that moment. When you are fighting so hard, you really lay it out there. Well done, Mehul Agarwal. Dark Dawn 1 up. But Dhruv Goswami very much in the hunt. And it's still very early days. But this is the wonderful and extraordinary Curry Motor Speedway. The history of racing is right here again. Remember, it was an airfield, and today we have an F3 graded track. We are putting up even an F4 challenger. This is the LGB Formula 4.
Well, you look at Mehul Agarwal and the weekend he had in the past. Well, it wasn't a great weekend for Mehul in the Dark Dawn. Finished 9th, 12th and 10th. Had 0 points before the start of this race, and he's come back roaring with a race win. Full 10 points for Mehul Agarwal. Then you got Dhruv Goswami as well. He was in the top 4 as far as the Drivers' Championship is concerned with 11 points. Had a race win in the previous round, but this time round he has to settle for second. You can see the cars on the left, the 2 Dark Dawns and an M Sport in between. Those are your race winners. And then, but we have to say a few words about Saran Vikram and the effort that he has put in. Remember, he started it way back in P19, right at the back of the grid, and in the end, he came roaring and finished in 6th position. Saran Vikram, who comes from Chennai, a terrific race for him as well. But the only cherry on the cake would have been had he finished in a podium position. But, well, that belongs to Mehul, Dhruv and Aditya Patnaik. What a race. The battle, I think, between Dhruv Goswami and Aditya Patnaik was something that we'd been looking for throughout that race. And what a finish. What a finish we saw. Comfortable for Mehul, but the gap between second, third, and that battle between second and third went right down till the wire. Now we'll go down to the Weybridge area where we have Raman Manot catching up with the race winners.
Thank you, Karthikeya. I got Mehul here with me. Congratulations on that race win.
Yeah, it was a great race with Dhruv in the start. I mean, we both went off a few times trying to overtake each other. But I mean, I think at the end I had the edge over the rest. So yeah, here we are.
Here we are, of course, a 15-lap race. It was competitive for quite a while, till about the 9th or 10th lap. The two of you were pretty much at it at loggerheads, and then you pulled away.
Yeah, I mean, the people at the back just started fighting so much, so I saw my chance and I ran away with it. I mean, with this fever also, I just didn't want to take any risks towards the end of the lap, so I just kept pushing and pushing. Until the last lap, I saw it's the last, and I mean, I slowed down a little bit. Yeah, I'm pretty knackered out from this race.
I can imagine, but I said it before the race, the best medicine for recovery is a win. I said a podium finish, you managed a win. Congratulations.
Better medicine.
That's the best medicine. Go well for the remainder of the weekend as well. And better get some rest. Of course, I have to tell everyone, in case you had missed the start, he hasn't been keeping well over the last 2 or 3 days. Came into this race a little iffy in terms of health, but he still notched up a race win. Let's have a quick chat with Dhruv. Dhruv, just talk us through the race, because you saw your chance right in the first lap, overtook the pole sitter Diljit, and then were involved in quite a few skirmishes.
I mean, yeah, we got a really good start. We were leading into C1. But after that, it was just, it was like a dogfight. Everyone was like, it was like a pack of 6 cars, and one mistake and like 3 cars pass you. So finishing P2 after that race it feels good. I mean, it was a real clean battle with Mehul and Aditya. I mean, yeah, I'm just grateful for my team, Nandana, Mutwan, and everyone in the team for giving me such a nice car to drive.
I'd said it before the start of the race. You knew it coming into the race that in the top 5, when you've got 4 cars from a rival team, then it's always going to be tough. But you made the perfect start by taking the race lead early on, and then the bunch caught up with you.
I mean, yeah, it was. I mean, it was pretty fair, to be honest. Like everyone left enough room. No one was squeezing the doors anywhere, and but yeah, it's just good fighting, and that's what the sports need. The sport needs.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for providing the excitement in this race, and congratulations on a podium finish as well.
Thank you so much.
There you have it. Dhruv Goswami comes in second in this race. Let's have a quick chat with this young lad. One look at Aditya Patnaik, can you get a feeling that he's probably preparing for his engineering exams, which I may not be wrong about, but the interesting story is how the race went for you.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty much in third basically the whole race, second once here and there. Unfortunately, at the end, couldn't get Dhruv. I mean, I had a fantastic battle with him, well defended to him, hats off to him. But I'll take the P3, I'll take the points, and we'll move on to the next race.
And what about the nose? You pretty much thought you had your chances, then rammed into the car ahead, lost the nose, and did that affect the aerodynamics of your car as well?
Yeah, of course, a little bit it will. But, I mean, it's okay. It happens. This is racing.
Just talk us through that battle, because, Dhruv knew he was a marked man with the Dark Dawn Racing cars around him. You also had a couple of teammates. There was Bala, who was pretty close at times. He thought he had an opening. Diljit had fallen behind the pack. He was running 5th, wanting to make a comeback. So there was an internal healthy battle going on between the teammates as well.
Yeah, it was a good dynamic because, I mean, of course, I also want to help my teammates, want to get a good result for the team also. So it was just about making sure there's a good balance between attacking and not really defending so much, but just trying to hold position.
It's been a good race for you. Enjoy the podium finish. The third place has done wonders for you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
There you have it, a happy lad, young Aditya. Of course, as far as a young rookie is concerned, he's making his mark here in the JK Tyre Formula LGB4. What we'll do is head back to Karthike in the combox.
It's time to break free. Break away from the routine. To the greens. And get lost in the world within. To steer through, to stop. Start again. Go forth. Shed your inhibitions and just let it all go. With JK Tyre's Ranger 80, made of tough, made for adventure. For the ones who are wild at heart. JK Tyre, total control.
मैडम जी वो सारे पैसे लेके भाग गए और मेरा वड़ा पाव भी ले गए। दिखाते हैं इनको।
मोटे वड़ा पाव? डीलर निकाल दे इसके हवा।
पंक्चर के बाद भी इससे हवा नहीं निकलेगी क्योंकि ये है JK पंक्चर गार्ड टायर जो कील लगने के बाद भी होता है ही।
क्यों निकल गई हवा?
JK पंक्चर गार्ड टायर अब हवा नहीं निकलेगी।
Right then, we've just witnessed a terrific race, and these are the highlights of what we've just seen. There is the LGB Formula 4 race number 1 of the weekend. Diljit T starting at pole position, and you had Dhruv Goswami starting at P2. Not a great start for one of the Ahura racings. You can see the back just stalled there, and very quickly coming through that first corner, Dhruv Goswami had taken the lead away. We'll come back to the highlights in a moment as we switch over towards the prize distribution ceremony. So now this is the prize distribution ceremony underway. Young Aditya Patnaik taking the third place on the podium. Terrific battle between him and Dhruv Goswami, who takes the second spot. And Mehul Agarwal, as Raman said, hadn't been keeping well for the last couple of days, and that's the best pill to have. Right at the top of the podium, a race win for Mehul Agarwal. It's Mr. Prithvi Raj, who's handing over the trophies. First one handed to young Aditya Patnaik. Remember, he's also leading the category in the rookies. Settling for second this time. Dhruv did not have a great weekend last time round. 0 points from the first round for Dhruv Goswami. In fact, I beg your pardon, for Mehul Agarwal. Dhruv had a race win last time round. This time settling for second. And the lad who had no points in the previous round starts off with a race win. A broad smile, and why not? Just raced away from everybody else. In the end, the last 3, 4, 5 laps was fairly comfortable for Mehul Agarwal. What a race, and what a race win for Mehul.
Great result for Team Dark Dawn Racing as well. You get a 1 and 3. You had drivers in the top 5. Of course, the Tuners Trophy being clinched by Dark Dawn Racing as well, thanks to that race win.
So Dark Dawn continues building up and picking up points in the Constructors' Championship as well. We saw that in the first weekend, and pocket loads of points, and this time round as well. They've started well with a few points in their kitty. So I think Afzal Riaz will be a very happy man. There he is. Talk of Afzal, and he's right there on the stage. He's there. He'll be very happy with the points that his boys are accumulating in the Constructors' Championship.
Well, he said that when I asked him before the start of the race about how do you set up the cars for your team, he says it's one setup for all my drivers, and you got to try and adapt to that setup. I'll give you the best setup that I feel, and I'll give it across cars, and then it's up to the drivers to try and adapt to that setup and get the maximum out of it.
Well, that's the formula you were talking about with him earlier. And I think the formula has been working very well as far as Dark Dawn is concerned. It's worked wonders for Mehul Agarwal in this race. There you can see right in the middle of your screen with a broad smile, and he's delighted with this race win is Mehul Agarwal. Now asking the other boys to come and join in on the top of the podium for a group photo. It's always good to see healthy competition on the track and camaraderie off the track as well. It's all young guys and having a great time. There you have it. The biggest smile on the stage at the moment is Mehul Agarwal, and why not?
The only thing they'll have to look at is whether that position was gained when he moved into the lead. Was that a fair overtake? Because there was some contact that happened between the cars, so there may be some talk about it, albeit the drivers have all said that it was a very fair race. And let's take a look at the race highlights one more time.
So was Diljit TS, who started at P1, and Mehul starting in the second row. Dhruv Goswami had a good opportunity starting at P2, and there you can see the yellow car on the right of the screen very quickly. Had a very good start, and straight away towards that corner number 1 went on to take the race lead. Diljit TS dropped down to second, and Aditya Patnaik had moved into third.
I think there was a problem for Rashi Jitendra Shah's car, which stalled on the starting grid itself and had to be wheeled into the pit lane. That was an unfortunate start to the race for the young driver from Ahuda, racing the only girl on the grid. But this is what happened. Great start for Dhruv Goswami, who shot into the lead. Remember, he'd won the last race of the previous round, had Dhruv Goswami. So he came in with a lot of confidence, said that it was important for the M Sport driver to move into the race lead early because there were 4 Dark Dawn racing cars in the top 5. So he would have gotten sandwiched between them. Had he got caught between them, took the race lead. Now this was the incident I was talking about. The little contact and going off the track but coming back on and claiming the race lead. That was what Mehul did, and he moved into the race lead after overtaking Dhruv. I'm sure that's one maneuver, that's one point which maybe the race officials will be taking a look at.
I think they certainly will have a look at it, but at the end of the race when he spoke to Dhruv, and he said that it was a tight race, everybody was having the right go, but in the end he thought it was a fair race. So I'm not very sure if he'll appeal against it or not. We'll just have to wait and watch. By this time Dhruv Goswami had dropped down to third, as you can see, with Aditya Patnaik moving into second, Mehul Agarwal continuing to keep the race lead with him. And by now you can see Aditya Patnaik's car was intact and had the nose in. Monit Kumran was also in the top 5, top 6. Diljit TS also in top 5 along with Bala Prasad. There you can see Bala Prasad in 4th, Diljit TS in 5th, and that was the Ahura car number 18. And that was Monit Kumran Srinivasan, who comes from Chennai, coming through towards the end of yet another lap, gone to that back straight. And this is where the cars go fastest on the racetrack. And again, it was the 2 Dark Dawns, and this is something that Raman was talking about as the sole and lonely M Sport car in the front pack. You do not want to get sandwiched between the 2 Dark Dawns ahead and 2 Dark Dawns behind, and that's exactly what happened with Dhruv. This is where the contact between Aditya Patnaik and Dhruv Goswami happened, and that's where Aditya Patnaik lost the nose of his car. In the meantime, Mehul had moved ahead. He'd moved into first place, and that battle now from here on till the end of the race for second and third between Dhruv Goswami and Aditya Patnaik continued. From here on, we saw Mehul gradually, with every passing lap, increasing the gap between himself and the others, although there was the challenge from Dhruv Goswami coming in. I think Diljit TS will be probably a bit disappointed, starting at P1 and had to finish at 5th.
Kartikeya, you just stole the words from my mouth, because I think there are two sides to the coin. What Dark Dawn Racing would be looking at is the fact that a lot of young race drivers have done exceedingly well. You're looking at the young Aditya Patnaik, who's finished third in this race overall in his rookie season in the Formula LGB4. I think that's a huge plus. He's leading the overall rookie standings in the Formula LGB4 category, but overall coming in third, challenging the top two for most part of the race, finishing ahead of seasoned campaigners like Diljit TS and Rahul Rangaswamy and Sarosh Shataria. I think it's credit to this young lad who's come through the karting ranks into racing, into Formula racing. I think it's a great result. So yes, that's one way of looking at it, that Diljit TS would be disappointed not finishing in the top three. But on the other hand, I think you've got to look at these young racers. You've got to look at the young Dhruv Goswami, you've got to look at the young Aditya, especially in the rookie season. This, of course, is the race win for Mehul, another young lad who's done exceedingly well.
Well, future certainly seems very, very bright as far as Dark Dawn is concerned, and maybe, motorsports is concerned in all.
So what we've seen is race 1 on Saturday. Of course, so we've got race 2 coming up at 4:15. Do join us there.
अंजनीयाय विद्महे वायुपुत्राय धीमहि तन्नो हनुमत् प्रचोदयात्